It is day 11, 11:32 a.m. in the Big Brother UK All-Stars house. And Big Brother has already gathered all of the house guests in the living room to start this week's nominations. One by one, each house guest will go into the diary room and nominate two of their least favorite house guests for nomination. And we're going to go in order of money, with the most money to the least money. So, of course, our big boss, Emma, with 47 total. Now, nominations do cost 5 simoleons, bringing her total to 42 now. But Emma is going to nominate both Bear and also she's going to nominate Charley. Now, the players with the most votes will be nominated for eviction, whether it's 2, 3, 4, so on. It just depends on the amount of votes. And today, everyone can afford to nominate, so everyone will be doing so. Next up, we have Hellen. And of course, all of this is based on the relationship statuses, but I will not be showing those. However, based on those, Hellen has chose to nominate Courtney Act and Tiffany New York Pollard. So far, that is 1 vote Bear, 1 vote Charley, 1 vote Courtney, and 1 vote New York. Alright, so next up we have Brian coming to the diary room to vote. And he has chose to nominate both Gary Busey and also Charley. So that makes Charley with 2 votes, and Gary is now on the scoreboard with 1. Next up to the diary room is Craig. Craig has chosen to nominate Gemma Collins, giving her her first point and putting her on the scoreboard. And his second nomination is for Bear, giving 2 votes for Bear. Now him and Charley are tied in the lead. It is now Courtney's turn to vote. Courtney has decided to vote for Hellen, who is pretty bruised up from when she stole previously. And Gary Busey is Courtney's second nomination. So now Hellen is on the scoreboard, and Gary is tied with first with Charley and Bear with 2 votes. And as Courtney leaves, it is Bear's turn to go on in and nominate. Now, Bear is feeling a bit sick right now, and we are going to keep an eye on that. However, we still have to go ahead and nominate. And Bear's choice of nomination is Hellen, giving her her second vote. And his next nomination is for Pete, giving him his first vote. It is now Davina's turn to nominate. And Davina is going to go ahead and nominate Gary Busey, giving him his third vote now, putting him in the lead. And her second nomination is for Gemma Collins, giving her her second point. Gary slowly walks into the diary room, and he is going to nominate Brian for his first one, Unfortunately for Brian, his skin is breaking out pretty bad right now. And Gary's second nomination is for Courtney Act, giving both of them their first points.
Danke.
It is now New York's turn to vote, and she is going to nominate Hellen for her first nomination, putting Hellen into the lead. And next to Gary Busey, however, who is also heading up towards the lead. They're in the front of the pack so far. It is Gemma Collins' turn to vote. And actually, just now, in this very moment, as I'm remembering, they didn't nominate face-to-face this week. So I'll have to make them do something at some point. But Gemma has nominated both Gary and Craig. So Gary is definitely racking in the points at the moment. And yeah, because I did forget that, at some point this week, they will be assigned a task where they will have to be mean to their least favorite house guests, or the people that they nominated. That way it kind of evens out what they had to do anyway. But anyway, back to nominations. Isabelle has come to the diary room to nominate, and her first nomination is for Gary. She's joining in the club on the Gary vote. I think it's pretty common. I think it will be. I mean, he's been bathing naked a lot outside. And then also Bear, who seems to be pretty upset. He might just be upset from being sick, or he might also be upset from just kind of getting the vibe of the room and knowing that he might potentially be up on the block. Once Cameron is done talking, it is his turn to come into the diary room and nominate. Cameron has chosen to place his first nomination for Hellen. And Cameron's second nomination is for Gary, who still remains in the lead. It is now Makosi's turn to come into the diary room and nominate, and her first nomination is for Courtney Act. And as you can see, Nikki has managed to escape the living room and start swimming in the background. How fun. And Makosi's second nomination is for Bear. Once I wrestle Nikki out of the pool and get her back into the living room, it is Charley's turn to vote in the diary room. And Charley's first nomination is for Isabelle. With Charley's second nomination being for Pete. And unfortunately, once I go back to put Charley in her place, and it is Rylan's turn to vote, Gary Busey decides that he wants to get up and try to start swimming. I have to block him from doing that. They are not on autonomous mode, yet they still just are that hypnotized with the pool. Back in the diary room, it is Rylan's turn to vote, and his first nomination is for Tiffany New York Pollard. With Rylan's second nomination being for Gary Busey. It is Pete's turn to come to the diary room and nominate. He's feeling in a bit of a weird cat-like mood. However, his first nomination is for Charley, with Pete's second nomination being for Bear. It is now Victor's turn to vote. This is his first time voting for nominations, and his first vote is for Makosi. And Victor's second nomination is for Hellen Wood. So, Nikki has managed to escape the living room once again and is in the pool again. Big Brother was pretty distracted with nominations. Thankfully, there is only one other house guest after Nikki that will now have to deal with the wet seat as she is freshly out of the pool and into the diary room.
Ooh, chumcha. See walk. Oh, nay.
Nikki's first nomination is for Gary Busey, of course. That seems to be everyone's favorite nomination. And her second is Craig.
Skeins Shemay.
Nadia is the last house guest to vote, and with only 5 big bucks in her big bank, she is now completely bankrupt and broke. However, she is spending those $5 to nominate one for Bear, and her second nomination is for Charley. All right, house guest, the nominations are in. And we have 3 people up on the block. We got Gary Busey, Hellen, and Bear. 3 very controversial house guests that are now facing the public vote. And it is up to you to vote which one of these villains you want to save. Do you want to save Gary Busey? Or do you want to save Hellen Wood? Or how about Stephen Bear? Comment down below and on all my socials. There will be a poll running on my Twitter. Vote now. You have until Thursday. After 10 hours of nominations, it is now officially 9:06 p.m. in the Big Brother house. And almost all of the house guests immediately leave the living room and jump straight into the pool.
Ooh, a friff. Thenica Fenabe. Hisbalip Grania.
In the living room, Davina and Victor bond. Honestly, Davina's abs are insane in real life, but also here. And I love that they have matching outfits, both wearing yellow. And of course, Victor is treating himself to a really nice face mask to calm himself down, settle his nerves. Both of them are off the block unscathed and not up for eviction this week.
Binkapa Sigluna.
Oh.
Jeffinati Banahu. Banar Pelka.
Back by the pool, Pete is putting on a little bit of a show for the house guest as he's dancing and acting like a chicken before sadly getting distracted at his non-working phone. In the bathroom, Gemma has decided that it's better to just talk to herself in the mirror than any of the other house guests in the house. While in the bedroom, Bear is the first one to head to bed and go to sleep. At 11:19 p.m., not only have the house guests run into a problem, but so has Big Brother, as the clothesline outside has officially snapped. And anytime Big Brother asks someone to go and try to fix it, like Hellen was supposed to right now, they don't want to. They refuse to. And also, winter is slowly approaching the house. So Big Brother is going to have to go ahead and reinstall the washer and dryer in the storage room. However, after 2 fires, gotta say, a bit hesitant about it. So yeah, instead of fixing the clothesline, Hellen decides to just go ahead and grill up some burgers, as that's a better priority. However, the clothes are piling up throughout the house, and everyone's getting a bit smelly, and so is every single room in the house pretty much by now. And with the bathroom still glitching out, everyone's really enduring some gross sights and smells, as we see Cameron is glitched and stuck inside a stall with Davina, and decides to mop around her while she's trying to use it, and obviously she's kind of complaining about that while now she is stuck in the stall. While everyone else thinks it smells gross, though, Nadia seems to think it smells pretty good. Don't know what that's about. But yeah, I don't know why it's glitching out so bad with these stalls, mainly with like multiple people waiting to use it. So yeah, they're just all piling into the stalls all at once now, which is kind of fun. Outside the bathroom, Rylan puts on a little show for everyone, singing a bit of a song, but as soon as the song ends, he marches straight into the bedroom and climbs in bed and is the second person to go to sleep. At 1:17 a.m., Gary is strutting through the bedroom naked until he gets to his bed, where he is now self-woohooing underneath the covers. Unfortunately, for most of the house guests, like Nikki, they have to witness all of this. It even ends up waking Bear up, the sound of him moaning and groaning underneath those covers. And all of them have to just kind of wait for it to end until they can get back in their bed. Courtney has now joined in on the act of having to witness it. Thankfully for some of them, like Hellen just completely ignored it and went straight to sleep and didn't see anything. And as with Victor, who just kind of changes, climbs up into his bed and acts like nothing is going on. But others have to have the trauma of seeing Gary not only naked, but getting it on. It seems that Bear is still sick. We're still keeping an eye on him, but we have given him some medicine, and hopefully with some more rest, he will feel better tomorrow. But I'm also sure him being nominated probably doesn't help him feel that much better. But with the majority of the house guests in the bedroom, we are going to go ahead and turn off the lights. And it seems to freak Bear out. Like, he starts glitching around, and then he starts swatting at flies and bugs that aren't there. He's talking to himself. It's getting pretty bad. So hopefully he makes it to eviction with the sickness he has. And everyone else is in the bathroom getting ready for bed. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up there. But now it is up to you guys to vote to save your favorite house guest. If you have a favorite out of this group. So do you want to save Gary, Bear, or Hellen from eviction this Friday? The vote ends on Thursday. You can comment down below on who you want to save. You can comment multiple times. Each time you comment is one vote for that house guest. And for all the latest updates, check out my Twitter and everything. Like, share, subscribe, and check out down below for everyone's Big Bucks inquiries. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.